Hello everyone! Last time, Azeroth assembled to stop Fyrakk, but the Brahmin Incarnate of Fire has dug deep into his Shadow Flame powers and ripped the barrier apart. He's gone into the Wellspring of Life, from which Amirdrassil has been drinking deep. It's just about ready to cross over into Azeroth, so we'll have to gather our allies and stop the Incarnate of Fire. Stop him from devouring its heart and bathe the world of Azeroth in flame. My allies are the wonderful raiders of the guild Nebula from the Twisting Nether. The realm, not the domain. Their wonderful support has allowed me to grab these recordings and get this story so quickly. So thank you once again.
Burn their guardians! Our strength only grows with their agony!
The mighty Jarden Elder, Igira the Cruel, is commanding their troops, doing a little 1v1 with the ancient Null Root, who has fought with us before, back during the battle for Darkshore, to kick the Horde out of Elven lands. The ancient has proven his might time and again for the defense of the Dream. But Shadow Flame is a powerful substance, and trees do burn easily.
Flame consumes all, Guardian! You are too late, champions! Even now, Flame and Shadow twists its mind! Will you allow this beast to writhe in agony, or give it a quick death? I look forward to watching either way.
Nullroot now shares his endless agony with us as the copious amount of Shadow Flame bursts from his body. The plants sprouting forth from the ground, they're now tainted as well. I didn't know you could make gardening sound metal.
Till the soil with blood!
It's pretty up there. At max energy, he will perform one of the oldest tricks in the books, root himself to the ground, which renders him immobile, but also immune to all damage. We need to use our debuff to burn his roots away, to which he gets stunned, takes extra damage, giving us the chance to end his torments.
Clean the rot, but more will grow!
Its screams were beginning to bore me. Finally, a worthy challenge!
The mighty Igira once entered an allegiance with Iridacron, after the Incarnate of Earth had proven his worth. The Isles awoke, and so too did Igira, with some help from Fyrakk. She's been a massive problem ever since, able to forge devastating weapons from the screams of her enemies. On the battlefield, there are 3 examples of what she can forge, and her abilities change depending on which one you decide to soak. We stuck with the Axe, which meant that we had to get together a couple of times to soak her umbral destruction. Now, not just our screams offer her weapons, Shadow Flame itself powers her abilities, like the spear she uses to pin us down. But no weapon in our arsenal is going to be strong enough to stop us.
Will never break.
Her screams were beginning to bore me.
Thanks, Fyrakk. See what you did there, buddy.
The dream is besieged by flame. How is this possible?
The Druids of the Flame have redirected the temple's focus to the Firelands. Within this temple's sacred halls are seeds of life. With their power, we can reach Farak and stop this madness. I have opened the Dreamways for you. Tread carefully. The creatures within are not welcoming to mortals.
Here we can go either left or right, but ultimately both sides will need to be cleared. We saw a bunch of burning trees trying to get away, so of course, that's where we went first.
The Emerald Dream will serve as fuel for the Firelands!
Smolderon dares to claim this realm as his own? We will stop him.
The Firelands are invading the Dream through the scorched halls. And going through this, your mind might shoot back to raiding the Molten Core, and you would be correct. This place most definitely hurts as much as the raid did. The Domain of Fire, the Firelands itself, is trying to lay claim to the Dream. Their elemental lord is Smolderon, because shamans of the world put him into that position of power during the Expansion Legion. Some wondered why he would ally with Fyrakk, and while the raid doesn't explain it explicitly, I imagine that it has to do with his elements. We've got earth and water, they're more on the chill side, but air and fire, they're a bit more hostile. That's why when Deathwing showed up in the Cataclysm, Ragnaros, despite being enslaved to the old gods before, He gladly signed up in trying to burn down the world. It's their nature. It's like wondering why a fire would destroy your house. It's their nature to burn and spread, regardless of our allegiance back during Legion, as that was a union against the common threats, a goal to take out together. Time has passed on, and the promise of invading the dream and spreading his flames. That's what got Smolder on to aid Fyrakk. At least, that's the way that I would explain it.
You will serve as a suitable snack.
It is said that Volkras, the lava serpent, is so vast that no creature has lived long enough to see him in his entirety. The gargantuan viper now coils himself around the Emerald Dream to devour it whole. We might not see the entire thing, as quite a bit of his body is hidden by the lava, but they sure do love to smack their tail on the table, so we have to keep paying attention of the shadows overhead, while moving away from the ever-spreading pools of fire.
What have you done? Not even ash will remain when I finish with you!
The age of dreaming comes to an end. This seed will be the ember that burns the world. Bear witness to the purity of flame and be consumed.
Larodar was the keeper we saw transformed by Fyrakk, and now keeps the flame instead of the groves. We barged in as they're trying to imbue the seed of life with a whole bunch of fire. We don't want the world to burn, and we need the seed to go further into the temple. So let's stop him and his allies that are torching the charred arbor. The grey models are not a bug, by the way. These are former friends and allies turned to ash, as touching them it leaves nothing but a small pile of ash.
All will be ash.
Let's make sure that that is not our fate. The fiery allies Larodar throws at us can be defeated and healed up to turn them into allies of life. In turn, that seed of life can be used to push back his flames that make the room ever smaller, until the Keeper's flame is snuffed out.
Reborn in fire.
He was twisted beyond redemption, but we will mourn him still. Thankfully, the seed of life remains unharmed. Take care, champions. The seed of life is volatile in mortal hands. With the power of this seed, Amirdrassil will be defended. Fyrakk will not succeed.
The other rests within a hallowed sanctum. Retrieving it will be difficult. Champions, what lies ahead is a sacred space within the Emerald Dream. Any intruder to the dream will be attacked, no matter the purity of their intentions.
We've gone right this time into the Verdant Terrace, where the flames have not spread quite yet. But the temple, it does have its own defenders who are on high alert. Apparently, not even Marifra could tell them to stand down, so we'll have to take them out.
Your presence desecrates these halls, mortals. Well, it gives us no pleasure. Your transgression must be punished.
Boring! Let's play! Joke's on you!
Ha! Your games make no difference, trickster. My unyielding strength will break them!
Enough bickering! Our combined efforts will expel them from the dream.
And therein lies the tactic for this fight, turning their combined efforts against each other. Pip, the trickster fairy dragon, turns us into ducks, but absorbing the poison laid down by Erwin, the naturalist dryad, will break the spell. Urktos can go into a blind rage, but again, our quack attack, it does the trick, transferring our duckified form to the bear. Erwin will then try to entangle all of us, but we can stop her by aiming Urktos' charge. That just leaves making sure they die at the same time to stop this Council of Dreams from being such a nightmare.
Well, the dream will never yield.
It pains me to see them fall, but we must obtain the Seed of Life if we are to succeed.
Trespassers, your very presence disturbs the balance of this place. You will be destroyed.
The Guardian of the Seed will never relent. They will die to keep you from it.
Another beautiful room waits just around the corner, where Nimue, Weaver of the Cycle, awaits. On the floor are green lines, which you don't want to cross, not by ads or by yourself, because that will hurt quite a bit. But you can cover the lines with a bit of grass and get over that way.
You are within the verdant matrix. A series of gossamer threads that order the dream. So delicate, the slightest disturbance would collapse the entire structure. Alterations bring calamity! All agents of change must be purged!
Hearing those lines and seeing how much she looks like somebody that came out of Zereth Mortis, it made me wonder if she had a connection to the story there. And wouldn't you know it, Nimue was placed in the Verdant Realm when Eonar and Freya shaped the dream. In Wellspring Temple, they enforce and protect the ordering of the Emerald Dream, weaving its wilderness into complex patterns. With the similarity of the model, the knowledge that the section of the dream we see is the ordered part, that there could be Zereth Mortises for each cosmic domain, and reading about how she draws upon the dream to weave emerald threads. It really makes me wonder where Nimue came from, perhaps a story for the future.
What will become of the dream?
A grievous sacrifice, but one we shall not waste. Rest well, dear one. Be wary, heroes. The Seed of Life is volatile to handle. With this Seed of Life, we are one step closer to stopping Fyrakk.
The Seeds of Life are in place. Amirdrassil awaits our defense. And Fyrakk, my wrath.
Champions, lend your strength to hasten their growth.
This is quite the upgrade from the random bridge cutscene that we got back during the Firelands.
They wish you chained, Fire Lord. Bound as your predecessor was to the Firelands alone.
I will not be shackled. Come, kindling, and feed the fire!
The fire wants to spread. Smolderon has unleashed the power of the Firelands to expand this domain and incinerate the Emerald Dream. If that means that this place is actually considered the Firelands, then like Ragnaros before him, his flame is going to be gone once we're finished with him.
Farak, obliterate my enemies!
Apologies, Fire Lord. I would rather watch you die.
Deceiver! Once I destroy these vermin, you will know my vengeance!
Not a lot of room for diplomacy either, I'm afraid, as he turns Emberscar, Brand of Damnation, the very weapon that we helped him acquire against us. It's time to dance, avoid the flames, and make room for another Fire Lord.
Thank you.
Champions, to me when you are ready. Farak will fall!
Our verdant Dreambreaker allies give us a ride up to the Blessed Bough, where Fyrakk is hanging out with Tindral Sageswift. This here is the Seer of Flame, not the Prophet that we partied with through the zone and defeated just before the raid. This is the Seer, a, up to this point, unknown ally of Fyrakk.
You again! A pity I do not have time to eradicate you myself. See to their deaths, Tindral. Feel free to make it excruciating.
Their screams shall be music to your ears.
A quick little fire volley immediately grabs our attention, as this Druid of the Flame wants to restore immortality to the Kaldorei. On the cusp of Fyrakk's victory, the Seer of the Flame stands against the champions of Azeroth, ready to ensure Amirdrassil is reborn in flame.
Your usefulness has ended.
I'm assuming that our usefulness was to kill Smoldron for them. And in case you're wondering why the sky is so dark, that would be my inky black potion. Our not ventral stack helm has the ability to transform into different druidic forms in order to make the heavens fall, spawn blazing mushrooms, shoot out fire beams instead of sunbeams. When it gets a bit too hot under their feet, they'll transform into flight form, shoot off to another branch to cause a devastating supernova. This is where our dragon riding skills come in handy, as we fly through the sky, avoid the fire while picking up the green dream essence. This gives us the boost that we needed to break Tindral's shield, stop him from finishing the spell that would surely one-shot all of us.
Reaping this. I failed my people.
Ashes to ashes. What a pity. When you are ready to die, find me. I await you on the cusp of my ascension.
My brother abandoned me. My sister betrayed me. But I didn't need them. I don't need anyone. My time has come. Azeroth will be reborn in flame. And you will be the first to burn.
Engorged with the power of Shadowflame and wielding the legendary axe Fyrakk the Dreamrender, Fyrakk now prepares to feast on the energies of Amirdrassil itself, or so says the Dungeon Journal.
Destruction reigns!
First we fight him in his visage form, feeling the sting of Fyrakk ourselves. While dodging the great firestorms from above, Fyrakk can also rend the very fabric of the Emerald Dream, which opens a rift into the Firelands, and its heat deals massive fire damage to anyone staying close.
A wasted effort, maggots!
The world will be remade in flame!
An intermission in which he transforms back into his primal form. We need to intercept the fire orbs coming his way, while making sure not to stand in the pool of shadow flame underneath him. The Incarnate unleashes vast amounts of the stuff, void-infused fire straight into the heart of the tree, but its defense does not fall just to us.
No! The heart is mine!
By fang or by axe, I will tear you asunder! This tree will not fall.
Surrender, Farak. You cannot win.
Keep dreaming, little one. Your mother is not here to save you.
The spirits of the Keldori, the children of the stars, have pledged themselves to renewal for the people, and they'll be damned to see this Incarnate burn that dream away. And let's not forget about the Aspects and Viranov.
Run and hide, weaklings!
Fall under my wing!
He wants to be Deathwing so badly, deep breathing across the battlefield with fire so hot it's able to burn the souls and have them scream in agony, while burning colossal ants join him in this fight.
The dream will never yield to you, monster!
Then your last moments will be a nightmare!
Amirdrassil is under my protection, fiend.
How did your protection work out for your children?
In his last-ditch efforts to corrupt the tree, Fyrakk goes primal once more, unleashes his full power of an Incarnate. This is Amirdrassil's final hour, together with the spirits, with the Aspects, with Viranov, with the might of Azeroth. We stand up to Shadowflame Incarnates.
Your end has come. I am Shadowflame Incarnate! Your screams fuel the inferno! Perish in flames! I'll devour you whole! Incineration!
Amirdrassil, what has happened?
Something unexpected.
Instead of a cutscene that deals with Fyrakk's demise, we get one in which the Aspects and Verinov get a blessing from Azeroth, the return of their aspectral powers, and whatever that might mean for someone like Verinov. Fyrakk is dead and forgotten on the floor, while his actions on the tree, they don't seem to have any consequences. The void-infused fire disappears, while Amirdrassil is ready to pass over from the dream into Azeroth. It's party time. It's time for final conversations, for reminiscing on the road that got us here and what might come next. But that part of the story, welcoming Amirdrassil into the world and the celebration of Azeroth, that's gonna wait for next time. So for now, thank you very much for watching, everyone. We'll end the raid with a last cutscene, and if you want more of a deep dive on the cutscene itself, I do have a video up on it for my opinion and what I think is happening, and then next time we'll talk about the final conversations and go on into party time. Right then, everybody, hope you enjoyed, and until next time, see ya!
How can this be? Our spectral powers have returned?
This is not the Titan's magic.
This is of our world, yet unlike anything I have known.
Amirdrassil has left the dream. And while the Aspects once gave their blessing to the world trees, this time...
Azeroth blessed us. I felt her presence. It was beautiful.
Ah, now I understand. I thought to survive, we needed to reclaim our aspectral powers. But they were never ours to take.
It was about coming together as a family.
And so we did.
Perhaps as we were always meant to.
All of us. When the Titans granted us power, it divided dragonkind.
But in uniting for a cause greater than ourselves, Azeroth's gift has made us, at last, truly whole.
We will use these lessons, old and new, to protect our world as her aspects.